Hello YouTube! Lately I've been getting a lot of questions about how I actually learned the Jobava London. So I want to take you through that so that you can look at those sources and make use of them yourself. So first of all, let's just get the Jobava London on the board. Of course, there's different move orders. This is not a video explaining the Jobava London, but merely explaining how I got to learn it and what I'm doing today to keep my play fresh. So I actually initially saw things about the Jobava London by videos of Alex Banzea. He's a really good YouTuber, also playing the Caro-Kann. That's actually why I was watching his videos first, because I play the Caro-Kann as well. But he plays the Jobava London as well, and yeah, he just has really nice ideas in this opening. And the special nice thing about his Jobava London repertoire is that he really can cut down on theory. So especially when you're beginning to learn the opening, I think it's a really good way. So yeah, he basically makes it so that you can transpose into the same positions a lot of the time, meaning you don't have to learn as much, because basically when you end up in the same position a lot of the time, which you know very well, that's just easier to learn. And also it's just solid. It's not theoretically the best in every case, but it's just easy to learn. So if you're just learning this opening not for long, this is really the best way to start in my opinion. So definitely check out his videos. He's also making a course, so I'm excited for that as well. Yeah, and I'll of course link his videos in this, or his channel in the description, I should say. But just to give an example, one of the things that he has in his course is to go for the pawn storm here after the bishop and knight move. And this is really one thing that comes up a lot in his course. And this differs from a lot of other courses, but that's also the nice thing to learn about this. Maybe you like this variation, and yeah, he is just the best explainer of these variations. So just to show you a way this can go, you can attack the bishop, and then move up this pawn. My mouse isn't really working with me today. And you're threatening to trap the bishop, so they move this pawn. They can move it to h5 or h6. Let's say they go to h6. And you just keep developing, and let's say they, I don't know, develop their knight. Usually this is something that they do. And you usually want to get out your bishop, develop your knight. Now in this case already, let's say they move their queen. This is quite bad for them, this pawn structure. This pawn is a weakness, you can attack it and stuff like that. So usually they take the bishop, you take here. And yeah, this variation goes on. Let's say they move their queen up or something. Well, actually, let's say they move that bishop. Usually move your knight here. Nicely defends that bishop. Let's say they castle. No, actually they usually castle queenside. So let's say you go here and they go queenside. And now you already have ideas of g5, which are really strong. Because if they move the knight, you're just taking a pawn. So basically they have to take. And then take a rook first, because there's some problems here. And I don't know, let's say you take back, they have to move the knight. You can go for a pin. Also, g6 is an idea now. I don't remember these variations a lot, so I probably messed some things up here. Because I don't play the pawn storm myself, but these are really nice ideas to keep in mind, and especially if you like this pawn storm, Alex Banzea's course is really good, or I should say his videos. His course isn't out yet, but it will be good. I have no doubt about that. But after a while, I started noticing that some of these positions, if your opponent knows what he's doing, are pretty drawish. Now, on the highest level, Jobava London is drawish anyway. If your opponent knows what he's doing. But I wanted a little bit more, so I started looking around. And then I saw this course by Daniel Naroditsky and Olexandr Bortnyk. And that was just a really nice course because it basically is completely engine-backed. They have just the best move in every position. They looked at the most played moves, so everything is covered that you need to be covered, basically. And that's just really nice. The only thing is that that one is harder to learn. But I decided, okay, I can make my repertoire a mix of the two. So in the variations from Alex Banzea I don't like, I'm gonna look more into their lines. So for example, in this position, they just play e3, and they go for stuff like this. So let's say they develop the bishop, you actually go here with your knight, and you have ideas to push g4 here. And this is something different. Of course, it's also kind of a pawn storm, but in a different way. And the ideas like these, I just like more eventually. But yeah, whatever you like is good. But that's one of the differences between what they recommend. Another big difference, I think, is what they do after c5. So after c5, Alex Banzea would probably play e3, which is the move. Again, he wants to transpose into similar positions a lot, and e3 is almost in all Jobava London positions a move you play. So this just transposes nicely, but with best play, this is actually quite drawish. This is one of the variations I didn't like. And Naroditsky and Bortnyk actually recommend e4 here. I believe they have some coverage of e3 as well, but e4, and this is just really nice way to play. There's one specific variation where they actually have something which is not completely engine backed, and that's in this position. Your queen is attacked, and they actually have two lines. So the engine back line is bishop e5, pinning the knight, and the variation goes on. Sometimes you push this pawn, sometimes you take. But yeah, this variation goes on. But actually one thing they also mention, and that's actually quite interesting, is queen a4 here. That's just a really nice move. I'll make some videos about this variation as well. Yeah, the idea is that, let's say they push, there's a lot of moves they can make here, but the idea is to go knight b5 and basically threaten this check with your bishop here, and usually they just like to go e5 here because they want to stop that. But actually you can take here now, and if they take back, you're suddenly already completely winning because you have this discovered double check, so they can't take your knight. They have to move your queen, and yeah, you just win a rook, and goes on from here. But as you can see by the engine, actually, this is slightly better for black. So that's what I said. This is not the engine back line. But here after bishop takes here, almost always they take, but they have to find bishop e4 check. And the line goes on from here. Still, they have to find a lot of stuff, because you can go here, and for example, if they just take, you take back. This is still the best line actually. But if they take here, for example, now already white is fine again. So yeah, just a lot of things for black to go wrong. So I really like this variation. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. But you can also go for the solid approach if that's more to your liking. And this is actually also a really nice line. So yeah, there's something for everyone there. So definitely check out their course. Their course is just a PGN with all the lines and a lot of explanation of why you play certain moves in certain positions. So that's really nice. Now, like I said, it's quite difficult to learn because if the position is slightly different, that can already mean you need to play a different move. So it's tough to remember because positions that look similar are suddenly very different, and yeah, that can be tough. But in my experience, if I combine that with Alex Banzea's ideas, which actually transpose to the same thing a lot, you can basically choose where you want to deviate and where you want to try to transpose to similar positions. And that combination just works really well for me, and I'm building my repertoire on that. There's also some moves that I saw that aren't covered by both. So I use the engine a bit to come up with ideas there. But overall, if you use those two sources, you are basically fully set. There's a lot to learn. I don't know anything, everything. Don't know anything. Don't know everything out of the top of my head, but it's just a really nice way to learn and keep learning. And so I'll be studying those lines, and I'll be using them in my games, which I will post on this channel, of course. So yeah, you've probably seen some of the ideas I showed already. But yeah, this is just really great. So I hope you can use the sources as well. As I said, I will put them in the description of the video. If you have some interesting sources, let me know as well. It would be interesting. So let me know in the comments. For now, I hope this will help you become a better Jobava London player. And thank you for watching. Like, subscribe for more of this. Maybe become a member. I'm sorry. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.